I'm excited to share with you some powerful insights on achieving realistic goals. Are you a person that struggles with setting goals and actually achieving them? Do you find yourself constantly setting high expectations for yourself, only to end up feeling disappointed and defeated? Well, you are certainly not alone. In today's fast-paced world, it can be challenging to stay focused and motivated towards our goals. But fear not, because in today's message, I am going to share with you 5 powerful ways to achieve realistic goals and turn your dreams into reality. You see, I have spent decades studying and teaching the principles of success and personal development. And one of the key factors that I have found to be crucial in achieving success is setting realistic goals. It's not about setting impossible goals that leave us feeling overwhelmed and discouraged. It's about setting goals that are challenging yet attainable, and then taking consistent action towards them. So if you are ready to turn things around and finally achieve the success you desire, then I urge you to keep watching this video. By the end of it, you will have a clear understanding of how to set realistic goals and the steps you need to take to make them a reality. So, let's get started. Starting with the number 5 way to achieve realistic goals, by celebrating your successes. You see, we live in a society that is constantly pushing us to strive for more, to never settle, to always be on the go. And while ambition and drive are important, we often forget to take a step back and recognize how far we have come. We are so focused on the end goal that we forget to appreciate the journey and celebrate our achievements along the way. So what do I mean by celebration? It can be as simple as acknowledging your progress, giving yourself a pat on the back, or treating yourself to something special. It is about taking a moment to reflect on your accomplishments and feeling proud of yourself. Now, some of you may be thinking, but Jim, I haven't achieved my ultimate goal yet. How can I celebrate? And to that I say, celebrate the small wins. Every step towards your goal is a victory, and it is important to acknowledge and celebrate them. It will give you the motivation and drive to keep going. Let me share a personal story with you. When I first started my journey towards success, I had a big dream, but I didn't know how to get there. I set small goals for myself, and with each one I achieved, I celebrated. It could be something as simple as finishing a book or making a new connection in my field. And you know what? Those celebrations kept me going. They reminded me that I was making progress and that my dream was within reach. Now I want you to imagine this. You are on a long road trip and your destination is a beautiful beach. Along the way, you pass by breathtaking landscapes, charming towns, and interesting landmarks. Do you just focus on reaching the beach, or do you take a moment to appreciate and enjoy these little moments? I hope you said the latter. Because life is not just about the destination. It is about the journey and the experiences we have along the way. The same goes for our goals. It is not just about reaching the end goal. It is about the process and the growth we experience. And celebrating our successes is a way to acknowledge and appreciate that growth. Now, I want to address something that holds many of us back from celebrating our successes: fear of complacency. We are afraid that if we celebrate, we will become content and lose our drive to keep going. But let me tell you, celebration does not equal complacency. In fact, it is quite the opposite. Celebrating our successes gives us the motivation and confidence to keep pushing towards our goals. It is like fuel for our journey. So, how can we incorporate celebration into our goal-setting process? First and foremost, set realistic goals. This is crucial because when we set unrealistic goals, we set ourselves up for failure. And failure is not something to celebrate, but when we set realistic goals, we can celebrate our progress and achievements along the way. Secondly, keep track of your progress. This can be in the form of a journal, a vision board, or any other method that works for you. When you have a visual representation of your progress, it becomes easier to see how far you have come and celebrate your successes. Lastly, don't be afraid to share your successes with others. Celebrating with friends and loved ones not only makes the experience more enjoyable, but it also holds you accountable and keeps you motivated. Which leads us to number 4, which is achieve realistic goals by staying accountable. Accountability is the glue that holds all the other ingredients together. It is the key to unlocking your full potential and achieving your goals. Without accountability, your goals are just mere wishes and dreams. They will remain out of reach, and you will continue to struggle and feel unfulfilled. So what exactly is accountability? Simply put, it is taking responsibility for your actions and their outcomes. It is being answerable to yourself and others for the results you produce. It is about owning your mistakes and learning from them. It is about being consistent and persistent in your efforts, even when things get tough. Accountability is not about blaming others or making excuses. It is about taking control of your life and making things happen. It is about being proactive instead of reactive. It is about being the driver of your own destiny rather than a passenger. Now let me ask you, how many of you have set goals for yourself in the past and failed to achieve them? I'm sure many of you have. And if I were to ask you the reason for your failure, what would you say? Lack of time, lack of resources, lack of support? While these may seem like valid reasons, the real reason behind your failure is lack of accountability. You see, when you are not accountable, you tend to make excuses and blame external factors for your lack of progress. You give yourself a way out by saying, I couldn't achieve my goal because I didn't have enough time, or I didn't have the right resources. But the truth is, these are just excuses that you use to justify your lack of commitment and effort. On the other hand, when you are accountable, you take ownership of your actions and their outcomes. You don't make excuses. Instead, you find solutions. You don't waste time complaining. Instead, you take action. You don't wait for the perfect conditions. Instead, you make the best of what you have. Accountability is not just about achieving your goals. It is also about personal growth and development. When you hold yourself accountable, you become more self-aware. You recognize your strengths and weaknesses and work on improving them. You become more disciplined and focused. You become more resilient and adaptable. You become a better version of yourself. Now let me share with you 3 ways to stay accountable and achieve your goals. First and foremost, set clear and measurable goals. As I mentioned earlier, this is the first step towards achieving any goal. When your goals are specific and measurable, it becomes easier to hold yourself accountable. You know exactly what you are working towards, and you can track your progress. It also helps you to break down your goals into smaller, manageable tasks, which makes it easier to stay on track. Secondly, find an accountability partner or join a mastermind group. Having someone to hold you accountable can be a game changer. It could be a friend, family member, or a coach. Choose someone who will be honest with you and push you to do your best. Joining a mastermind group is also a great way to stay accountable. You can share your goals with like-minded individuals and receive support and feedback. It also creates a sense of healthy competition, which can motivate you to stay on track. Lastly, track your progress and celebrate your wins. It is crucial to track your progress regularly. This will help you to identify any areas where you may be falling behind and make necessary adjustments. It will also give you a sense of accomplishment when you see how far you have come. And don't forget to celebrate your wins, no matter how small they may seem. This will keep you motivated and energized to keep going. Which leads us to number 3, which is achieve realistic goals by creating a plan and sticking to it. Now let me tell you, creating a plan is not just about writing down your goals on a piece of paper. It's about creating a roadmap that will guide you towards your destination. It's about breaking down your big, audacious goals into smaller, actionable steps that you can take every day. It's about having a clear vision of where you want to go and how you're going to get there. But creating a plan is just the first step. The real challenge lies in sticking to it. You see, it's easy to get caught up in the busyness of life and lose track of our goals. It's easy to get distracted by the shiny objects and lose sight of our priorities. But if we want to achieve our goals, we must have the discipline and the commitment to stick to our plan no matter what. Now, I know what some of you may be thinking. But Jim, creating a plan and sticking to it sounds so boring and restrictive. I want to live my life freely, without any rules or restrictions. Well, my friends, let me tell you this. Having a plan and sticking to it is not about restricting yourself. It's about giving yourself the freedom to live the life you truly desire. Think about it. When you have a plan, you know exactly what you need to do and when you need to do it. You have a sense of direction and purpose. You don't waste your time and energy on things that don't align with your goals. And most importantly, you have a sense of control over your life. You are not at the mercy of circumstances, but rather, you are the one who is in charge. But let me be clear, creating a plan and sticking to it does not guarantee success. It's not a magic formula that will automatically make all your dreams come true. It's just a tool, a powerful tool that will help you turn your dreams into a reality. It's up to you to put in the hard work and dedication to make it happen. And I know it's not easy. It takes a lot of discipline and determination to stick to a plan, especially when things get tough. But that's where the power of commitment comes in. You see, when you make a commitment to yourself, you are making a promise to yourself that you will do whatever it takes to achieve your goals. And when you have that kind of commitment, nothing can stop you. Now, I want to share with you a simple yet powerful technique that will help you stick to your plan. It's called the 5-minute rule. Whenever you feel like giving up or getting distracted, just tell yourself that you will work on your goal for just 5 minutes. And I can guarantee you, once you get started, you will find the motivation and momentum to keep going. But let me warn you, there will be days when you will feel like giving up. There will be days when you will doubt yourself and your abilities. But that's when you need to remind yourself of your why. Why did you set this goal in the first place? What is it that you truly want? And most importantly, who do you want to become in the process? Remember, the journey towards achieving your goals is not just about the destination. It's about the person you become along the way. It's about the lessons you learn, the challenges you overcome, and the growth you experience. So don't give up, don't lose sight of your goals, and most importantly, don't lose sight of who you want to become. Which leads us to number 2, which is achieve realistic goals by breaking down big goals into smaller, achievable tasks. This may seem like a simple concept, but it is one of the most powerful tools for achieving success. Many of us have big dreams and goals, but we often get overwhelmed and discouraged when we think about the amount of work and time it will take to achieve them. But I am here to tell you that by breaking down those big goals into smaller, achievable tasks, you can make your dreams a reality. Let me share with you a personal story. When I first started my career, I had a big goal of becoming a millionaire. It seemed like an impossible task, but I knew that I had to break it down into smaller, achievable tasks. So I set a goal to save $100 every month. It may not seem like much, but it was a realistic and achievable task for me at that time. And as I continued to save and invest that money, I saw my goal getting closer and closer. And eventually, after years of hard work and dedication, I achieved my goal of becoming a millionaire. This is just one example of how breaking down big goals into smaller tasks can lead to success. So how can you apply this principle to your own life? The first step is to clearly define your big goal. What is it that you want to achieve? Is it starting your own business, buying a house, or getting in shape? Whatever it may be, write it down and make it specific. Once you have your big goal in mind, it's time to break it down into smaller, achievable tasks. This requires careful planning and organization. Sit down and think about all the steps that are necessary to achieve your goal. Then, break those steps down into smaller tasks that you can work on each day. This will not only make your goals seem more manageable, but it will also give you a sense of progress and accomplishment as you check off each task. Another important aspect of breaking down big goals is to set realistic timelines. Don't try to rush through the process and achieve your goal in a short amount of time. This will only lead to burnout and disappointment. Instead, give yourself enough time to complete each task and make sure it aligns with your overall timeline for achieving your big goal. Now, I want to address a common misconception about breaking down big goals. Some people may think that by breaking down their goals into smaller tasks, they are somehow lowering their expectations or settling for less. But let me tell you, that is not the case. In fact, breaking down your goals can help you achieve even bigger and more ambitious goals in the long run. Think of it this way. If you set a big goal without breaking it down, you may get overwhelmed and give up before you even start. But by breaking it down into smaller tasks, you are creating a roadmap for success. And as you achieve each task, you gain confidence and momentum, which can propel you towards even bigger goals. I also want to mention the importance of accountability when it comes to breaking down big goals. It's easy to get off track and lose focus when we are working towards a big goal. But by having someone hold us accountable, whether it's a friend, mentor, or coach, we are more likely to stay on track and achieve our goals. In addition to accountability, it's also important to celebrate your successes along the way. Don't wait until you achieve your big goal to celebrate. Take the time to acknowledge and celebrate each task you complete. This will not only keep you motivated, but it will also help you appreciate the journey towards your big goal. Which leads us to number one, which is achieve realistic goals by setting specific and measurable goals. You see, the problem with most people is that they have vague and general goals. They say things like, I want to be successful, or I want to be rich. But what does success or being rich mean to them? Without a clear definition and a specific plan, these goals remain nothing but distant dreams. As the saying goes, a goal without a plan is just a wish. So the first step towards achieving any goal is to make it specific. This means defining exactly what you want to achieve. For example, instead of saying, I want to be successful, specify what success means to you. Is it financial stability, a fulfilling career, or a happy family life? The more specific you are, the clearer your path towards that goal will be. The second step is to make your goals measurable. This means setting a quantifiable target that you can track and measure your progress against. For instance, instead of saying, I want to be rich, set a specific amount of money that you want to earn in a certain period of time. This will help you stay motivated and focused on your goal. Now, some of you may be wondering, why is it so important to set specific and measurable goals? Well, let me tell you from my own experience. I used to have vague goals, just like most people. But it wasn't until I started setting specific and measurable goals that I saw a significant change in my life. You see, when you have a specific and measurable goal, you have a clear target to aim for. It's like having a destination on a map. You know exactly where you want to go, and you can plan your journey accordingly. This clarity and focus are what drive you towards your goal. Moreover, setting specific and measurable goals helps you break down your big long-term goals into smaller, achievable ones. This makes the process less overwhelming and more manageable. It also allows you to track your progress and make any necessary adjustments along the way. Now, some of you may still be skeptical and think, but what if I don't achieve my goal? My answer to that is, it's better to aim for the moon and land among the stars than to aim for nothing and end up with nothing. Even if you don't achieve your goal, you would have made progress towards it, and that is something to be proud of. Plus, you can always reevaluate and set new specific and measurable goals. One important thing to keep in mind while setting goals is to make them realistic. Yes, we all have big dreams, and that's great. But setting unrealistic goals will only lead to disappointment and frustration. It's essential to be honest with yourself and set goals that are achievable within a certain period of time. Another crucial aspect of setting specific and measurable goals is to write them down. Writing down your goals makes them more tangible and gives them a sense of importance. It also serves as a constant reminder of what you're working towards. So get a pen and paper or use a goal-setting app and write down your goals. Now, setting specific and measurable goals is only the first step towards achieving them. The next step is to take action. You can have the most well-defined goals, but if you don't take action, they will remain just that, goals. So break down your goals into smaller, actionable steps and start working towards them. Remember, success is not a destination, it's a journey. And setting specific and measurable goals is the roadmap to that journey. It's what keeps you focused, motivated, and on track. So don't be afraid to dream big, but make sure to set specific and measurable goals to turn those dreams into reality. I want to leave you with this quote by Tony Robbins. Setting goals is the first step in turning the invisible into the visible. So let's make our goals visible by setting them specific and measurable. And I have no doubt that with determination, hard work, and a clear plan, you will achieve all your realistic goals and live a fulfilling and successful life. Thank you.